Now, there is a lot of manga out there, but you are watching top 10 videos searching for a series that stands out, something that is special. You don't want to waste your time, and if there's one thing that I can do right for you, it's manga recommendations. And that's about it. So today I'm going to be sharing with you 10 of the very best series that I've been reading, and from those 10, hopefully you can pick something up and just enjoy it. Now, I like to think that this list has something for everyone. There are multiple genres, ongoing and complete stories that will thrill, excite, make you laugh, shout, cry. You're definitely going to feel something by the end. And also a once to watch feature, because I really can't fucking trust Shounen Jump's trigger finger in the slightest right now. Hey! Don't touch it! But before we get into all of that, if you actually pick up any of these series or have any to recommend, just leave a comment down below. It'd actually be really fucking appreciated. Nevertheless, I've been reading a fuck ton of manga, and this is what I found. I really hope you enjoy this next 15 minutes or so. Which Hat Atelier is better than 90% of fantasy manga out there. In this world, everybody is capable of magic. None of that racist shit they had in Harry Potter. However, in this world, the keys to do so are long since hidden away, only known of by a select few. As a result, witches and people that can actually perform magic are pretty fucking rare. Notice that I said perform magic, because in order to cast spells, you must draw a rune. And these runes come in the shape of a circle, and once that circle is complete, magic! It's kinda like alchemy from Full Metal. In fact, here's one I drew earlier. Let's see what it does. Now, of course, there are good spells that are used in day-to-day life, and forbidden spells that can cause untold damage and threaten the peace of the very world that we live in. So, one day when little Coco manages to sneak a peek at a wizard, she learns the secret to drawing magic, and starts practicing with this old notebook given to her by a strange witch years and years ago. Practicing what turns out to be forbidden magic, which activates to a tragic degree. For me, this series is everything that a fantasy manga should be. It immediately drops you into this robust and peacefully designed world where magic is used to enhance just about every single part of their day-to-day life. No, just take one of these and wait an hour. And just when you think that you're about to get used to this world or the insane level of creativity that it houses, it just continues to outdo itself every single time. This monster is a strange hybrid between a Cthulhu and a Gyarados. This is a wheelchair with legs. Even the layout of the individual panels themselves make this series stand out as its own distinct experience. This will somehow get you talking about world building more than a One Piece fan, and that is an achievement in and of itself. It is a story about fantasy, adventure, discovery that boasts insanely detailed art. Do not miss out on this one. Hey, I got this for you. Space. Assholes. Death. Crushing fucking skulls and fighting the space KKK. Now, usually a mangaka would blow their load making one hit series, and everything that follows just doesn't live up to the same expectations that were once set. Urasawa, Inoue, Togashi, and Yukimura are some of the very few that actually managed to pull it off. But now Kyu Haishida might be able to enter that group. Dai Dark is a sci-fi space horror manga. Every single bit is wacky, goofy, insane, and as gruesome as Dorohedoro, but just that little bit more refined. The story follows Sahasanko, who's this immortal teen that travels through space, evading the bounty hunters that are trying to kill him and take his bones so that they can take over the universe. And he does all of this while accompanied by his buddy Avakian that he carries on his back like a backpack. Yeah, I know it sounds pretty far-fetched, but just stick with me here. Anyway, Zanko and Avakian travel the universe together, trying to figure out why everybody wants to kill Zanko, cycling through this reoccurring cast of characters that are all unique and unlike anything that you've ever seen before. Here's the God of Death. Do you want to trust the God of Death? Do you want to be best friends? Shit, fuck yeah, shit, where do we sign up? Yeah. Every single chapter here is just absolutely bizarre. Their adventures can literally range anywhere from furniture shopping to fighting what is basically the space KKK. This is a wild read, an insane series housing some of the very best character designs, the most uniquely messed up art in manga, and a story that is really building up to be something great. If you loved Dorohedoro, just want some more crazy in your life, then check this one out. Sakamoto Days is absolutely amazing, as unlike anything else in Shonen Jump right now, and is slowly getting every single bit of credit that it deserves. The main character is Taro Sakamoto, who is this unassuming family man that quietly runs this small convenience store on the edge of this small town. But is secretly a retired hitman capable of taking down an entire organization with a single pen. A man so feared and dangerous that he now finds himself being hunted by assassins coming from far and wide to take him down. Thus resulting in him and his store clerk setting out to take down the person who has put this massive bounty on his head, which only leads to them finding themselves deeper and deeper in this huge conspiracy that they never wanted to be a part of in the first place. This is the John Wick Shonen Jump parody series that you never knew you needed. It starts out as this light-hearted action comedy about a man trying to chill with his family, run his store, and deal with the ensuing bad guys that are trying to take his life. But then the tone will shift within a few pages as these creepy and straight up unnerving assassins begin to show up in this more aggressive and more distinct art style, setting them apart from Sakamoto and his crew's largely round shape. The angle that this panel is framed at is done in such a way to make these characters feel larger and more intimidating. Tensions will hastily rise as these murderers are about to throw down and let loose with these insane weapons. One character dual wields fucking buzzsaws. Sakamoto will literally beat the shit out of them with his belt. The next chapter then will have you back chilling with his family before it introduces a threat showing you how far Sakamoto is willing to go to protect everything that's important to him. It's goofy, it's funny, it's action packed, and is slowly climbing up shonen jumps whatever way they like rank shit week to week. I have no idea how it fucking works, no one does. Check it out. Your class are preparing to go on the annual school trip next month. Broke as shit, you scramble to get the funds together, working any odd job that comes your way. Your 4 best friends, however, don't have the same problems as you. They come from rich families and extremely different backgrounds. Nevertheless, you promised them that you would not miss out on this trip for the world. You just about managed to hand the money in at the last minute, then proceed to go home only to return to school the next day to see that all the money has mysteriously vanished. 2 of your friends come under fire as they are left in charge of collecting all of the funds, so they both go silent and just hide from the public outcry. You, sick of all of the drama, return home only to see a letter from one of the accused instructing you to meet outside the school tonight to discuss something very important. You sprint to the school gates only to find that your entire group is there waiting for you. Tension is in the air until everybody finds out that they all received the same letter instructing them to meet at this same location. Before you can say anything, a ginormous harrowing figure appears behind you with a taser in hand. You all wake up dazed and confused in this white asylum-like room with this cute little guy only to learn that your group houses a traitor, the very individual that stole all of the class's money to gain entry into Tomodachi Game. Tomodachi Game is a pseudo deck game series where 5 friends are entered into a game against their will, forcing them to play where they must manipulate and cheat their way to the very top in order to clear their names. It takes the high stakes nature of these sort of series and adds sort of intellectual battles that you love to see in Death Note, but it doesn't turn the shit halfway in. Instead, this series gets stronger the deeper you read. The writing has this intensity that just does not loosen its grip on you. You watch the good guys do some of the most heinous, messed up shit in order to win or even gain the smallest of an advantage. The main character is this absolute monster, but you just can't help but root for him. Its intensity is comparable to Kaiji. It creates more illusion at every single stage of the way and somehow makes you care for these characters in a way that you could have never expected. Yeah, it has some really predictable moments, but it doesn't take away from anything else. If you like Death Note, Squid Game, Kaiji, or even Kakaguri, this would be right up your alley, and it is a long read. Enjoy it. What happens after the adventure? What happens when the dust settles, legends are made, tales are told, and the heroes of those stories slowly die and leave this world? What happens when your life is filled with regret as you outlive everyone that was a part of what you come to realize was the very best time that you ever had? Well, you could just do some MDMA. Souso Frieren is an expertly written series that looks at adventure from a perspective that you haven't really seen before. The story follows Frieren, an elven mage as she barely ages, outliving one party member after another before unexpectedly and somewhat unwillingly finding herself leading a party of her own, thus opening up this new world of adventure and a chance for Frieren to right any past regrets that she might be having. Now, the English name of this series is Frieren Beyond Journey's End, which basically fits this fucking perfectly. This story is about Frieren as she grows, learning to take her time in life, watching those around her change and pass away, as she's forced to say goodbye to legends that she's known and the love that she once had. She then continues further into life with all this morbid emotional damage, holding on to these past memories. Memories that she comes to learn to love and cherish with every single passing chapter. Memories that the story almost seamlessly mixes into her current situation. She draws on them to help others and lift up everyone else around her. Now, warning. It's not going to be a series that's going to change the world or develop this massive cult-like following the Chainsaw Man did. This is just one of those few series that makes you forget about all of your problems. A series where you can just genuinely feel any negativity from your day slowly fade away, which really at its core is what good manga should do for you. It's therapeutic, it's relaxing, and it's a lot fucking cheaper than therapy. Hence why I don't want to catch up to this fucking series. I'm only like 60 chapters in. I want to take my time with this one, and you should too, so please check it out. You're in school, there's this one girl that you like, but you're a bit of a scrub and she is far out of your league. So you do what any normal shonen protagonist does and you start grinding on your sport and hope that one day you can grab her attention as you stand head and shoulders above everyone else as the one true alpha. Only 1 week later, you then learn that her and her family are moving overseas, never to be seen again. You are distraught, you go home, you don't even wipe it up and proceed to go to sleep, only to wake up the next morning to see her standing in your kitchen. As expected, where she should be. She is no longer moving overseas, but is now going to be living on the other side of your wall. No. Blue Box is a sports romance series that you never knew you needed. The story follows Takeo as to walk the fine line of trying to figure out how to actually get the girl while delicately maintaining peace and order in the rest of his teenage life. Does he fumble the bag early and mess up everything going on at home? Or does he try to slowly grow and cultivate a healthy relationship with this other person by getting really good at sports? Yeah, it's a shonen, so it's obviously going to be the latter. Actually, in fact, here's the one shot that the series is based off that would actually show what happens if he straight up confessed at the very start of the story. Anyway, this series managed to walk the fine line of never overindulging too much in either the sports or romance aspect of the story, but strikes a sweet balance between the two, separating itself from the crowd and finding its own niche between the two genres. Also, there's a love triangle going on that's going to straight up divide the entire fucking community. One of the girls is a gymnast. Yeah, the other one gives him a half melted kick out of her ass pocket. Me, I have already made my choice. tastes like shit. This is a wholesome read, an exciting read, and over at its core just a good shonen coming of age story. It is one to watch for the future, but how it's selling, it's only building up for more success to come. So there's no worries about Shonen Jump axing this anytime soon. Now what should you do? Check it out. I will never not recommend Hell's Paradise. I've told people to read it before. Other tubers have probably told you that exact same thing. But that doesn't matter. Hell's Paradise is a battle shonen that is set in the backdrop of this gorgeous, gorgeous island that allegedly houses the elixir of life. So to capture the elixir of life, the Shogun sends a group of expendable criminals to do that very, very task for him. And off the bat, it greets you with danger, orgies, and criminals. Not to be confused with Epstein's Island of Danger, Orgies, and Criminals. No, this series is a battle shonen, but just like Chainsaw Man, there's more to it than the horror, the violence, and the insanity. It has this strikingly violent and aggressive yet beautiful art style, allowing it to give you some panels that just make you look at them in fucking awe. This amazingly robust array of characters that all present you as something very different and very fucking memorable, representing these different ideologies and lessons that you literally learn from them over the course of the entire story, building the strange depth to help them distinguish them as their own individuals. You get the absolute authoritarians that will actually kill their own fucking people, to the free-spirited ones that will sacrifice anything when it's needed. The main character, Gabimaru, is a full-fledged fucking menace, meaning that everything starts moving straight away. There's no real training arc, shit starts moving fast, people die fast, and the series ends fast. This is only 127 chapters, so you will have plenty of time to experience it all before it gets the mappa treatment. Check it out if you haven't done it already. Next up we have... Whoa, shit. Sorry about that. Out of Nightfall is Koyamori, an insomniac, a boy of true equality. One day looks at his underwhelming life of popularity, good grades, and having every single girl fall right before him and realizes, fuck that, I do not give a shit about any of this whatsoever. So he just stops. He stops going to school and isolates himself from the rest of society. He then finds a way to treat his insomnia by walking the streets in the dead of night. Because it's Japan and not any major American city once it's 2 AR-15s past 9 PM. At night he's isolated and alone, but for the first time is free from the rest of life's problems. The only thing that Ko has to worry about are drunk salarymen and loose women like Nazna that try to take him to bed to suck his... I'm sorry, the pages seem to be stuck together. Oh, his neck! Because she's a vampire. Yeah, that makes sense. Anyway, Nazna gives Ko someone that exists in the same time as him, someone that he can actually relate to. The relationship is also pretty fucking unique. She doesn't force him into changing, they just have a common interest in exploring the night and want to make that last for as long as they possibly can. Everything also takes place at night, creating this special vibe that you just don't get from most other series. It also managed to hook me in halfway through the very first chapter just from this one line and one line alone. This is nice, the time of freedom. You can't be free unless you release yourself. Boy. It's a line that you can take a lot of different ways, but also to remind you of how free, exciting, and full of adventure the nighttime can be, but also how weirdly peaceful shit can be under the moonlight. Night is this limitless time full of adventure, and this manga captures that in every single page, either in the panning shots of the empty streets or the way Nazna and Ko lazily glide through the night sky. This manga is weirdly refreshing. It sounds strange, but reading it's like driving late on a cold night with the windows down. There's just something about that breeze that relaxes you, and this manga's the same. It's not going to be this mindfuck. There's no crazy power systems to understand. You can just pick it up and have a good time with it. There is a lot of people sleeping on this one, so check it out. For what Spy Family is, it is severely underhyped and is going to take over once that anime drops. Spy Family is a comedy action manga that follows super agent Twilight, later adopting the name of Lloyd Forger, as he undertakes a high-stakes mission to infiltrate the communists and diffuse tensions between two warring states in Ostania and Westalia. But to carry out his mission, he must pretend to be an everyday normal family man. Thus, unbeknownst to him, adopts a mind-reading midget named Anya and wifing up the clumsy, lovable, and murderous assassin in Yor Briar, with Yor and Lloyd using this relationship as a means to hide their true identities, not just from the world, but also from each other, being completely oblivious to each other's secret identities, and it all works out fucking amazingly. For me and you at least. Because this comedy hits you like a fucking truck. It's not your standard anime poo-poo fanservice type of comedy, but a blend of having these characters find themselves in the most bizarre situations, as well as taking these seemingly innocent moments and cranking them all the way up, playing on each of the characters' individual traits and flaws. Action is well done, but what it does best is connecting to display these people that were once strangers as this huge interconnected family unit. Spy Family has the potential to be the biggest hitter in the entire fucking industry. It is a blend of comedy, action, and wholesomeness that allows it to be a series that generally anyone can pick up and just have a good time with. Then throw the mascot and Anya that lets you find a way into anime meme culture, and you have a series that is just set up to fucking bang. So get in early and read this before the anime drops. Summertime renders what happens you mix. All you need is kill off the cast and setting of Anohana. Sounds wild because it fucking is. It's a time loop story following Shinpei on returning home to an island for a friend's funeral, learns that there have been multiple sightings of another girl that looks just like her following her death. The locals attribute this to a phenomenon known as the shadow disease, where a person encountered their doppelganger of her shadow and died just days later. Shinpei shrugs it off. Silly old guys, monsters are for kids. Until the next morning, the family run at the local grocery store suddenly disappears, and before he knows it, Shinpei finds himself encountering and fighting the shadows of the very people that he loves, causing his eventual death, which only loops him back to the very moments that he got off the boat the previous previous day. He then realizes how fucked the entire island is at the mercy of these shadows, leaving him with only two options. Does he run away like a little bitch? Or does he stay and fight? I don't know, I know you're thinking, I can't lie. Time looping, saving friends, I thought, nah, I've seen this shit before, I'm good. But then you introduce these shadows and then shit begins to get really interesting. How do you fight them? How do you tell them apart? How do you know if you can actually trust them not to betray you in the first place? How long have these shadows been among us? Shit, sorry about that. Having these shadows in the story means that the characters are never safe. Danger is always waiting around the next corner. This makes the story fast-paced. The art is not groundbreaking whatsoever, god no. But for how fast the action is in the story, it just somehow manages to work. It also does that thing where it manages to convey each of the characters' personalities and their design before they even speak a fucking word. Shinpei has balls of steel from the jump, unlike someone else. Every single character serves a purpose throughout the entire story, making the whole thing feel more alive and creating this more immersive experience. But you know what doesn't add to the fucking immersion? Fan service during these intense moments that leave you wondering why the fuck is he here in the first place? And yeah, some of it feels really fucking illegal, making you wondering what the fuck is up with the offer. But regardless of all of that, it's still a good story, and while the mechanic has been used before, it is a classic type of narrative that's just hard to get sick of, because it shows people doing the one thing that they can when they're losing everything. Fight back. No, don't end it, there's too cringe. Hey, how you doing? It's me, Ben. Thanks for actually making it to the end of the video. Do all that like normal shit like comment, subscribe, lick the video up and down. Just, no one's forcing you to do it. Just fucking do it on your own. Anyway, thanks for watching. Love ya. Bye.